Today, I have the absolute pleasure of being able to talk to Kelsey Cook, and this might be one of my favorite episodes ever. So, Kelsey is a certified teacher, an entrepreneur, and a mom of four, and she's on a mission to make early learning easier and way more fun for parents everywhere. After 6 years in the classroom and a degree in early childhood and elementary education, she traded lesson plans for packing tape and launched Learning with Kelsey, a subscription box that turns everyday moments into hands-on learning adventures for little ones. What started as a passion project in her living room during COVID is now a go-to resource for families across all 50 states, where she helps parents ditch the overwhelm and spark curiosity, connection, and confidence with their kids. And her story is so amazing, and I know you're going to love it. So let's dive in. Welcome to Mompreneur Mastery, where we build businesses, raise families, and skip the hustle that doesn't actually help. I'm Sydney O'Brien, certified Instagram strategist, mom of three, and your no-fluff guide to making more sales with content that's strategic, simple, and you can actually make in the small mom cracks of your day. Because Instagram shouldn't feel like a full-time job you're not getting paid for. If you're ready to stop posting just to stay visible and start sharing content that actually converts to sales and gets you clients, you're in the right place. All right, now before we get into your business, Kelsey, can you tell us a little bit about how your business got started?
Yeah, so I was a teacher. I taught third grade and then I taught kindergarten. And then when I had my first baby, I decided to stay home because it was so hard to do teaching and have a baby. It was so crazy. And so I stayed home and then I missed teaching so much. And so I was like, okay, what can I do that would still do teaching but be able to be home? And so I started a preschool out of my home. And I taught preschool for 4 years and it was so fun. It was like the perfect mix. It was 2 hours twice a week. I had two kids at the time that I was doing it, and my older son got to be in it. It was so fun. And then COVID happened. And so I had to close preschool. And after closing preschool, I was like, okay, these little kids are at home. I miss them. We did so many fun things at the end of the year. What can I do? So I started putting together little packets for them of things that we would have done in preschool and leaving them on the porch for their moms. And so the moms would come get them and do them, and they started sharing about them on Instagram. And so I was like, okay, more people were kind of reaching out to me in my neighborhood just saying, oh, can I get one of those? Because like we don't know what to do with our kids. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I could sell these. So I started selling them for like $15 a packet, I think is what I did. And I made an Instagram because I was like, okay, I'm going to kind of talk about these somewhere. And more people in other states wanted them. So I was mailing packets and I kind of was like, okay, I feel like this is an actual thing more than just like this pandemic need. Like people are loving being able to do activities. And kind of as a teacher and mom, I had this unique perspective that not everyone has. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go all in. At the time, had done like 50 packets. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a box. I'm going to put it in a box. It's easier to send because I was mailing them in envelopes. And that's how it started. And then we've just gone from there. And it's just been crazy.
That's so cool. That's like quite the origin story.
I'm like, you're like, say it quick. And I'm like, well, it's kind of long.
No, totally fine. Like it needs to be that long to go from the beginning to the end. It's like,
Yes.
wow, that's incredible.
Yes, it's so fun.
Yeah. Pandemic, there were definitely some big negatives there, but the creativity is like kind of interesting to see at the same time, like how people worked with it. And like, yeah, so that was a really cool story. And then how long was it from like when you started leaving packets on your porch to when you had like mailing boxes and like a more subscription type of thing?
So I started doing the packets in March 2020, and I did boxes in September. So like just a few months. But when I really made like what I have now, which is 20 activities in a box, was about a year later. So August of 2021 is when I launched those. And yeah, so since then we've grown. I sent 14,000 boxes last month. So it's just been insanity.
Yeah, I can imagine. What was the moment where you were like, oh my gosh, I have to like do more and make this legit business?
So I had a friend of a friend actually that owned a business. She owned a really cool like kids sock company. And she reached out to me and was like, "Hey, can we go to dinner? Like, I think you have a really good idea here." And so I went out to dinner with her, and this was like in the summer when I was still doing packets, and she's like, "I think this could be a business, and I think you should just go for it." And I didn't really know her that well. That's not something that I would have ever like done. I kind of was like, I don't know how to do a business. And she's like, "You can do it." She's like, "Just do it. I think this is a good idea, and you should just do it." And I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna do it."
That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, I was kind of thrown by my kid coming in.
That's literally the story of my life. I'm like, so I have 4 kids now. So I'm like, I've built this business with babies on my lap, feeding babies, pregnant. So my kids are always coming into every meeting that I have.
All the time. All the time.
It's the best.
How old are your kids now?
So I have 9, 7, 4, and then 18 months.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I only
crazy.
have 3, but they're also like closer in age. Mine are
Yeah.
7, 6, and 4.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand the chaos part of it for sure.
Yeah. And I do feel like that was like my hardest transition was having a third baby because I'm like, it was like crazy. All of a sudden you feel like and yours like are the same. Mine, I had 5, 3, and then a newborn. And so it's like everybody's at home, nobody's at school yet. And it was
Right.
just chaos. So adding a fourth was like, oh my gosh, we already have chaos. So it's easy.
Yeah. That's interesting. I would think 4. I would just be like, no, I can't. Adding another one.
Really,
but I guess like when
I
you
know.
think about like what already is going on here, which is a lot, adding one more is just like,
Yeah.
what's one more?
Yeah. And you're like, the older ones are kind of more self-sufficient. You know, they could
Yeah.
do more things, which is nice.
Yeah. How hard was it to like build and grow that business with young kids out?
It was so hard. I'm like, I did a lot during nap and bedtime. Because, I was like, quit teaching because I wanted to be home. So I'm like,
Right.
I now don't want to like be working 24/7 because I love being a mom. That's like my number one priority. So I would do it during nap and bedtime. And then that became like crazy because I felt like I was never off, like I would stay up so late. I would never have a second where I wasn't being either mom or business.
Right.
So it was really hard. But my husband is like my number one supporter, my number one teammate. And he kind of was always saying to me, like, if it's too much, like hire it out. Like you can do this, and then let other people do something else. And so that was hard for me because it was like my baby, and like saying,
Right.
okay, now someone else do this part of it. But that was like my biggest reason for success, I think, is that I was able to bring on a team of people that have been so helpful to me and have helped me grow and learn. And yeah, my husband actually quit his job in December and is working full time with me now, which is so much better. I'm like, I love that.
That's so
It's way better
cool.
to have him doing so many things with me because it was, for a while it was like, okay, he's doing his full-time job. I can't expect him to help me, and he would help me when he got home, but then it was just chaos. So that's been really, really great.
That's so cool. I love that you were able to outsource like that. It's so important to be able to delegate, even like in just parenting. Like you can't do it all on your own. You got to have that village.
No.
So it makes sense. Like you need that in business too for that success without completely like burning out. It's so stressful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think like the more that I've talked about business and like, I always thought like, okay, I'm not a business person. Like I don't know business. It's so hard for me to even consider myself an entrepreneur because I'm like, I'm a teacher, I'm a mom. It's so foreign to me. But the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, there's so many similarities between being a mom and being an entrepreneur. And so many skills that we learn as moms that translate exactly over into business for me. Like I've learned, like you said, delegating, like a village is so important. And I've learned that in my kids' lives, having a coach or a teacher or someone else talk to them and share advice with them and give them something I can't is so powerful. Just like me reaching out to someone maybe that is really great at marketing or really great in another area that I'm not. It's such a value to my team too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest skills that translate are time management and like flexibility. Like Yeah, those are so important when you're a business owner.
Yeah, and as a mom, you fit things in everywhere. So
Oh, yeah.
we're the ultimate multitaskers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I feel like the most common one at my house is like my kids get really into certain kinds of foods or snacks. And if we run out or like it's gone bad or something, you always got to have a backup plan. It's like that in business too. You got to just be able to roll with it and like just keep going, adapt and move on.
Yeah, and I feel like when you become a mom, you're like, "Oh, I know what I'm going to do." And then you find out, "Okay, there's so many things I don't know."
Yeah.
And that's the same with business. I'm like there every day. I'm like, "Oh, new issue that I had no idea that even existed." But here we are.
Right. Yep. Yeah. The same thing. Like I feel everyone's a perfect parent until they're a parent, and then everyone's a perfect business owner until they're a business owner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
So, what about your boxes makes them so
That
unique
so
and makes everyone love them, do you think?
So I'm really passionate about early childhood education, but also about parent involvement and parent connection because I think that is the best thing that you can do for your kid is foster this great relationship in those early years. So my boxes are more than just like you're giving your child something to do with them. It's something that moms or dads or whoever's doing with them is sitting down and doing with them. So it's more about the connection point that you're getting 10 to 15 minutes a day where you're getting to do an activity with them. You're all involved with them. You're making them your focus of your attention. And I think that is where like the magic happens with my boxes. They're fun activities. I love the activities. Obviously, I'm excited about them. But at the end of the day, I think like the parent connection is like the most special part about it.
That's so, so important. And I feel especially for mom business owners where it's very easy for us to get bogged down in like the constantly going between like work and business. And like you always have these things on the back of your mind where it's very hard to be like present and in the moment. So having like the like determined activity like all laid out where you can have that connection you need, but it's also not something you have to like come up with on your own because you just don't have the brain space for it would
No.
be like incredibly helpful.
Yeah, it's so nice because even I kind of found that even as a teacher, as someone that's done so many activities in my time, like with a 2-year-old, sometimes I was like, okay, what do I do? And I'm like, well, I can look this up, I can find it, but then by that point, it's gone. Your moment of
Yeah.
teaching or connecting is gone.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, I have to get like these supplies for it and like
Yes.
run to the store for this. Like, yeah.
Yes. So they come with everything that you need to do the activities and like in the perfect amount. Because I also found if you want to use pom poms, like you have to order 1,000 off Amazon, and nobody wants 1,000 pom poms at their house.
No one wants that. We did that like one time and my kids started eating them and I was like, we're done. This is a
You're
pom
like,
pom
this
free
sucks.
zone. I can't. I was like
Yeah,
finding
so
them
you only
under the
get
couch
12,
for
so you're
weeks.
good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
It's too much.
It's chaos.
That's so funny. And now we are a homeschool family. And my kids were, well, my youngest is at that age where a lot of the learning we do is done through play because it's not like a 4-year-old's going to like sit and listen to me like yap about
Yes.
history or something.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
are there more educational components in your boxes?
Yeah. So we have different boxes. We have 5 different ones. So I do them by age because another thing that I found was like I would see activities that were for a 2 to 4-year-old, and I'm thinking, okay, there's no way it's for a 2 and a 4-year-old.
Those are so different. Like
So
it
different.
sounds
Even
like
like
they would be similar, but no.
nope, they're not even close. And even I would say like teaching preschool, I'm like I can tell a spring birthday from a fall birthday kid.
Yeah.
Even like those 6 months make a huge difference. So I have a toddler box, a preschool, and a kinder prep for our activities. So they're very geared to their ages. So like for the 4-year-old box, they're working on fine motor skills, but they're also working on introducing letters, tracing letters, scissor skills, like simple things like that, color matching, counting, but they're doing it in a fun way. So like for instance, in this last box, it was the May box is all about flowers and gardens, and they had flowers with a pipe cleaner with a number on them, and they were threading beads onto the pipe cleaner. So they're getting to, it's fun, it's exciting for them, but then they're also getting to count, they're getting to practice fine motor, they're getting to practice even like number order. So there's so many different little things that they're working on.
That's so nice. And then like, yeah, the more fun it is, the more likely they'll actually like do it and learn from it too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you gotta have I love themes, and I think that's the teacher in me that loves a good theme. So every box is themed monthly, and everything is around that theme. So like our June box is oceans, and so there's so many fun things that they're getting to do with ocean animals, with seaweed, like all these different things.
I love that so much. Like, yeah, I know my kids, when we do like little mini unit studies and everything is around a theme, it's like when they're
Love it.
most engaged, for sure.
Yes, it's so funny. But I'm like, I love a holiday, so I get it.
Yeah, same. Okay, real talk. Are you constantly scrambling, trying to figure out what to post on Instagram only to end up posting something random and hoping it somehow brings in sales? I have totally been there. As a busy mom running a business, homeschooling my kids, content planning felt like just one more thing on my plate until I found a system that actually worked. That is why I put together my free 5-day challenge, Plan It, Post It, Profit. In just a few minutes a day, you can learn how to create content with strategy. So you're not just posting to post, but you're actually building momentum and connection that leads to actual sales from your Instagram content without being glued to your phone. And the best part, in just 10 minutes a day for 5 days, you will have an entire month of content planned following my signature framework, the 5 steps to sales on Instagram strategy. So if you're ready to ditch the content overwhelm and have a content plan so you know exactly what to post to get sales, head to the link in the show notes to join Plan It, Post It, Profit. You will be so glad you did. What was something you wish more moms knew about starting a business with kids at home?
I think I wish more moms would just go for it. That's kind of what I've learned is I just put things out without like second guessing it, which is not really my personality. So it's so funny that I've been able to do that in business. But I think because I felt so excited about it and I loved it so much that I was just like, I'm just going to do it. I'm not doing this with the purpose of this is going to be a huge business. This is going to be whatever. And so I was like, I'm just going to make a logo on Canva. I'm just going to Google how to do a website and just try it, because you can always change things. You can always perfect things. You can always make them better. But I think like that first step of just doing it is the best way to get it out there. So don't wait till you have the perfect name. Don't wait till you have the perfect logo. Just put it out there and then see where it goes.
That is such great advice. And I feel like not for like my whole business, but like for different offers specifically, the more I come up with something and am excited about it and like put it out there before it might not super be ready, but like we can tweak it along the way. That like and is like catching and is like great for marketing and attracting new people. And you're so excited about it because you know how good it is. And you are normally like your own ideal client or customer. So like they need it too. So yeah, definitely jump in. It's not about being perfect.
Yeah, because it can get hard, and especially like you're taking in other people's opinions, or like you kind of have to just like tune it out and just say like, I like this, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. And I feel like the more like outside opinions I get, the more bogged down I get, and I'm like, is this a good idea? Should I do this? Should I scrap it? Should I change this or that? And I'm like, no, just
100%.
Just because the opinions you really need are yourself from having to do the work and making sure it fits within your life, and also the people buying it, because you want them to like benefit from it, obviously. But like there's a lot of outside noise a lot of the time from random people. And I'm like, sometimes that's very valuable. Sometimes it's not.
Yep. You have to like take what works for you and then leave what doesn't.
Yeah. And if you try it and you know it doesn't work, don't feel bad about leaving it no matter who it's coming from. Because you know it, you know your own experience is best for sure.
And I think that's another thing where motherhood has really helped me. I think that I've gained so much confidence in becoming a mom and growing with my kids. And that's helped me to be more confident in business. Like, when you have a kid, you're their number one advocate, and you have to be the one to say things, and you can't second guess every single time. You just have to be confident that you know what you're doing. And I think that has helped translate over into business so much for me.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I'm like, yeah, me too. I can definitely see that. That advocacy. Before kids, I was like I don't know if I want to stick up for myself. I'll just like, be a people pleaser and go along with this. But now I'm like,
exactly.
I can't. I don't have I can't do that. That doesn't work for me. I'm not going to pretend it does.
Yeah. And that's exactly the same. I feel like I grew up, I've been a people pleaser for my whole life. Like that. So jumping into being a mom, it was so hard for me to be like, okay, I'm the one that has to say it. It doesn't matter what this person's saying. It doesn't matter what this person's saying. And it's definitely taken practice. But the more kids that I've had and the older my kids have gotten, I've gotten so much better at it. And so in business, same thing. Like there's been hard conversations I've had to have that have been tricky or like difficult for me to do. But the more that I do it, the better I get at it.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a skill, and it's not super fun to learn, especially when you are a mom and you're just kind of like thrown into it. Like there's no course or anything, but the more you do it, the easier
just go
it
for
gets,
it.
for sure. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Yeah. What is advice you would give to a mom who has maybe like an idea, but zero time or energy to pursue it?
I would say start small, so even if it's like you're just sharing about your idea, you're maybe not offering it for sale or whatever, but I think just do something small that gets you in a step in the right direction, and then you can build on it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Some people it takes them 5 years to do something. Some people it takes them a week. Like just do a little, and then that will kind of help you to see what can I give to it, what can I not, and in the end, you're the ultimate decider. That's what's so cool about being an entrepreneur is you get to decide what your time is. You get to decide what's most important. And so I think just doing a little bit is like the best first step.
Absolutely. That's such great advice. And I feel like that also relates to parenting. Like different kids are sometimes on different timelines if they have different needs or need different support. So not comparing yourself and your like what other people are doing, because it's not fair to anyone to compare like your chapter 1 or chapter 2 to their like chapter 11 over here.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, I'm thinking like, okay, it took me 4 years to even take money from my business. I put everything back into it. So it's like, It looks fun now, but like I was working for free for a very long time.
Yeah. It takes a lot to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How did being a mom of 4 influence the way you built your business?
So I think that it helped me in how I was going to build my team. I brought on, basically I started by bringing on all moms, which has been really cool, but it helped me to see like, hey, this is what's most important. I knew that being a mom, being present with my kids was my most important thing. And so I built everything else around that, so I knew these are the times that I'm not going to be available. These are the things that I'm not going to do. And setting that tone at the very beginning really helped us as we kept going. And so like right now in my warehouse, I have 20 women that work there, and they drop their kids off at school and they come and they work at our warehouse until 2:00, and then they go pick their kids up. And it's like, that has always been something that was really important for me, is that the moms were able to give back to their families while also getting to be moms and getting to be home, which was important to them too. So I feel like that has influenced how I built my business, who I've brought on my team, and all that.
That's amazing. I love that so much. Like not only for like you and your business, but also helping other moms as well. Like I love working with other moms because they just get it. Like my youngest came in a couple of minutes ago, just handed me a snack to open, and then started chanting Odd Squad because that's what they're watching right now. I bribed them with PBS Kids to be able to do this.
I love it.
And yeah, like you didn't even bat an eye. It's just like, whatever, it happens.
Yep,
But,
doesn't even matter.
Yeah. But being able to help other moms do that too and be more aware of their like needs and schedules so they can achieve that as well is like really amazing.
Yeah, it's been really cool. And also, like moms are so scrappy. Like we learned so many different things. So I feel like I've gotten so many great ideas from the moms on my team. I've gotten so many great like tips. It's just been really incredible.
Yeah. I started my business as like a social media manager, and then I did it while my husband was deployed, and it was like the worst timing in the world. But
You're like, bad idea, but fun.
yeah, exactly. And then I was like, wait, I want other moms to be able to do this too. So I like switched to working just like marketing just for moms for like very similar reasons. So yeah, moms need the help. So I'm glad we were able to do that.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun. And it's, we have a couple boys down there now, so we don't discriminate against our boys,
Right.
but we need them. We definitely need them to lift all the things for us.
Yeah. Can definitely understand that. And can you tell us more about how people can get your boxes?
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram at Learning with Kelsey. And then I have a website, learningwithkelsey.com. So you can order the boxes there. And then I just share tips and previews on my Instagram too.
Perfect. Yeah. And I've been following you and I love your content. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, good. Thank you. Content's hard.
It is. It is tricky. I will also share all of those links in the show notes so people can connect with you and try out your boxes so they can connect with their kids in a way that doesn't take up a lot of their extra brain space, because I know my listeners don't have any of that to spare.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on and chatting.
Yes.
I love it so much.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was so fun.
So you can very easily see why this is one of my favorite interviews I've ever gotten to do. Kelsey has such a great story, and I got so much from having this conversation with her about business and not comparing myself to others and doing what works for you. And sometimes taking that imperfect, messy action can lead to really amazing results when you put in the hard work. So I hope you got a lot out of this episode as well. And I also want to share that Kelsey also hooked us up with something really special. If you want to grab some of her Learning with Kelsey boxes, she's giving us 15% off. So definitely check out the link in the show notes for that. I know I will be grabbing some for my youngest because as a homeschooling parent, I know that the best learning happens through play. So I'm really excited to be able to do that with him and foster that connection in a way that I don't have to plan or go run to the store to buy all the supplies and end up with a million extra pom-poms. So connect with Kelsey at the links in the show notes, and I can't wait to be back in your earbuds next week.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me on Mompreneur Mastery. If this episode gave you more clarity or a little boost of confidence, I would love for you to follow the show, leave a review, or share it with a fellow mom building her business on her own terms. And hey, if something really clicked, DM me on Instagram. I am at socially.yours.strategist and tell me the one thing you're doing differently after listening. I love hearing what is landing for you. Until next time, here is to less stress, more sales, and a business that actually fits your life.